Hello and welcome to day 7 of Soul Reset Yoga. We are again in the Union Zukowski lobby of the Matthews Ministry Center here on the Methodist University campus. Welcome back. We took a little side trip into Anywhere, Anytime yoga, but today we're back on the mat for a traditional class. So let's start warming up. We'll be starting a standing. So let's get centered, get ready, shake off the outside world, and let's begin with some deep breaths, okay? And we'll start with incorporating that with our movement, all right? So let's try inhaling up and exhaling down. And just repeat that. Bring your knees into the action, inhaling up, exhaling down. If you feel brave, go up on your toes when you're up. All right, feet apart. Let's reach over to the side and breathe. Stretch from way down your hips. Try to envision the stretch from foot to finger and over. And breathe. And other side. And back. And now forward fold and just hang down like a rag doll. Let your back stretch out. Just feel the stretch. Just keep on hanging. Kind of pivot around to one side. Stay low if you can. It's all right if your knees are bent, straight. Doesn't matter how far you go. And pivot around to the other side. And back to center. Just hang. Do whatever you want with your hands, arms. You can fold them across. You can let them hang. Leave them on your legs. Now one hand to the floor and windmill up around for a stretch. Reach up there, look up there, but don't over twist your neck. And swap hands out over to the other side. Reach. Wide open chest. Shoulders relaxed. And back to hanging. Open up those hips. Stretch out those hamstrings. If you feel like it, you can try to pull your upper torso back toward your legs a little bit. If that seems like a lot, then don't do it. Let's go back to that first twist. Stretching back up, wide open chest, arm reaching. And second side. And back to center. And now bend your knees a little bit and roll back up to a tall standing position. Let's do a standing squat. Turn your feet out just about 45 degrees and then open those knees out over those feet. Nice wide squat. Keep breathing. back up. And feet together. Revisit mountain pose. See if you can tell a difference. Energized, warmed up, ready to move a little more. All right, let's go to our knees and tackle gate pose, if you remember that. We'll start just standing on our knees. Find your center there. Knees straight down from these hip bones. Torso nice and long, neck long. Take a breath here, and then extend one leg out to the side. A little bit of an angle on your foot, just a natural progression of your leg there. But try to keep your hips forward. Get comfortable there, make sure you're secure. And then arms out to shoulder level, palms up. Take a breath, inhale, and then exhale to the side. Reaching, stretching through that open side. Try to bring your arms somewhere around your ear. Body stays all in one plane, open to the side, not twisted around. So arm overhead, you don't have to go very far. Keep breathing. And come back to center. And take your arms down and your leg in. Regain your centeredness here. And head out to the other side. Foot out, slightly turned, hips forward. We're going to stay all in this one plane. Make sure you have your balance. And then arms to shoulder level, palms up. Take a breath in to center yourself, and then exhale over. Breathing, shoulders relaxed. Feel that stretch all the way down into your hips. And back to center, and arms down. And since we're on our knees, we'll go straight into table pose for some cat-cows. So, knees straight under hips, hands under shoulders. Get yourself comfortable here. And then we're going to inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up, arching your back, lifting your head. And exhale, curling your back, chin into chest. Again, inhaling up, exhaling back. Do a few more rounds, coordinating breath with your movement at your own pace. And try to just lose yourself in your breath and the movement. And when you've completed a round, come back to center. And we're going to move into sunbird. So if you remember, sunbird is a bit of a balance pose from this position. So you might want to bring your hands and feet in a little bit together since you're going to be balancing on one and then the other, okay? So for sunbird, we're going to shoot out an arm and an opposite leg. All right, so if we're ready, go for it. And then bring those in and take the other set out, arm and leg. Neck should be nice and long in the back. You're looking at the floor. You're breathing, you're balancing, you're not scrunching shoulders. And bring it back. And then we'll try that again, but we'll do it with the movement as we did it. All right, so we'll incorporate breath again as well. So back to the first side, reach out. And then from there, exhale, and then, inhale, and then exhale into fold, elbow to knee. Inhale out, exhale in. And out, and in. Inhaling out, and exhaling in. And let's do the other side now. When you're ready, take your arm and leg out. Inhale while you're out there, and then exhale in, elbow to knee. And about 5 times on this side now, at your own pace. And when you're finished, just come back to table pose. Next up, we're going to lift up into downward dog, okay? So you'll just curl your feet under and lift up into the sky. Walk in place a few steps. Get your feet comfortable where you are. If your knees stay bent, that's perfectly fine. And when you feel like your feet are ready and your hamstrings are ready, just kind of press back into that pose. Chest heading in toward your knees, toward your thighs, and stretching down into it. And from here, we're going to do a little bit of a flow movement. Okay, we talked a little before about flow when we did sun salutations. So this is something you'll run across. We'll go from downward dog into a 3-legged dog and then into a crescent lunge. Okay, so downward dog, you know. 3-legged dog, you can probably imagine. All right, and then we've done some lunges before. A crescent lunge is just a little more of a higher standing lunge. All right, so stay with me on this. Here we are, table. Here we are, downward dog. Okay, so for a 3-legged dog, bring one foot just a little more centered for balance because we're going to lift the other one off. Okay, so this is a 3-legged dog. And then to come into the lunge, we just want to shoot that up toward our hands, wherever you can get it. Okay, and then from this position, we're going to try to hold that leg, that standing leg, steady, and come all the way up to standing on it. Watch your balance, okay? And then here we are, moving into a crescent lunge, just arms overhead, and you're there, okay? So you can see my back foot is kind of semi on the floor because I'm still in a lunge. And you can adjust where your feet are. If you feel like you need them further or closer, just feel free to take a pause and get them where you want them. All right? And then sink down into that lunge. Arms overhead, and you want them a bit back with chest open, looking up so that you have a bit of a curve from hands down to feet in a crescent. But shoulders stay relaxed. And then let's head back down, hands to your mat, back into downward dog. And we'll try that on the other side, okay? So go for your 3-legged dog, and then press your foot up between your hands, or near your hands, in the neighborhood of your hands, wherever it goes, and then try to come up primarily on that standing foot, up to standing, up to lunge, and then once you feel like you like where your lower body is, bring your hands into it, your arms, reaching overhead into crescent pose. Crescent or high lunge, it's called both. And back down. Foot back into downward dog. And then go ahead and come down on your knees and back into child pose. Just rest a little bit from what you just did. And get your legs separated, your knees comfortable, arms wherever you want them, and breathe. And rest, you've earned it. And back up. All right, we're going to repeat that. I hope that's good news, not bad news. All right, we're going to do again, lift up into downward dog, three-legged dog, and crescent. Okay, ready? With me? All right, so from table pose, back into downward dog. And again, make sure your feet are just a little closer together than they might normally be in downward dog. The right leg up in the air, or whichever you choose. Swing it forward, and then lift up into crescent pose. Shoulders relaxed, chest open. Watch your balance. And back down. Back to downward dog. Take a moment to push into the stretch. Really feel that downward dog stretch. And then head into three-legged dog, left leg up in the air, or whichever one you didn't do. Swing it forward. And then watch your balance and stand up. And arms overhead. Reaching back into a crescent, chest wide open, shoulders relaxed. And back down. One more stretch into downward dog. And knees to the floor. Good. All right, while we're on the floor, let's spend a little more time seated. We will move into staff position, if you recall that. Feet straight out in front of you, legs straight if you can have them, bent is fine, any variation works. But you want to try as much as you can to be up on your sit bones with a nice long torso and a tall neck. And as we've talked about, if you want to shove a little towel or blanket under here, something like that to lift you off and make this angle not so severe, you're welcome to do that. Take a moment in staff pose to get yourself settled and centered. And then we're going to do a seated pigeon. If you remember, that's just kind of bringing your leg up like this. We're going for stretching out these hips down here. So try to maintain your height as much as you can in your torso and cradle your lower leg in your arms. And when I say cradle, you can rock it if you want to, or you can just hold it. But just feel that stretch. Maybe lift a little higher, but again, don't lose the height in your torso. Switch legs. Up into seated pigeon. And back down, shake out your legs a little bit, and we'll head into a forward fold from here, a seated forward fold. So nice tall staff position. Inhale, arms up and overhead, and then we'll exhale, bowing forward toward your legs. Wherever they end up is wherever you should be. Doesn't matter a bit. And just relax and hang there. Notice where the stretch is the most severe. Notice where the sort of dead ends are, and just breathe into those spots. Whether it's your hips or your hamstrings or your calves or your back, just hang and breathe. And then just kind of take a pause and lift a little bit and see if you can maybe stretch just a little bit further. And then roll back up. But on that further stretch, always remember, as I told you, put your own innate knowledge of your body first, all right? No one needs to tell you how far to go on these stretches. Take a moment back in staff here, and then we'll move into head to knee pose. So choose a leg, bend it to the side, knee out, foot flat against your thigh here, and try to resituate yourself on your sit bones. Nice and tall, nice and easy, centered. And then we'll head down over that extended leg, just reaching out. Taking hold wherever you want. We've talked before, if you want to use a strap here, something like that, you're welcome to make this stretch a little easier to do without having to reach out. Whatever works for you. Keep breathing, sinking into the stretch. Notice where you're feeling it. All of these stretches hit slightly different places. Bring yourself back up, and then we'll do the rotated head to knee. So you're kind of turning a little more toward your bent knee, and then reaching over the top of your head toward that extended leg. Now you can see maybe the stretch moved around to the side of your hips this time. Keep breathing. And back up. And we'll switch legs. So other leg extends, and the first extended leg comes in. Bottom of your foot to your thigh, knee out, sitting tall on your sit bones. And then turn toward that extended leg and bow forward, starting with your chest and reaching out, stretching out toward your foot. And then just relaxing down wherever you land. And if you feel comfortable and you want to kind of push out a little bit further, do that. And then ease your way back up and get ready for rotated head to knee. So turning more toward your bended knee and then reaching overhead toward that extended leg. And then just hang here. And back up. Straighten both your legs or just feet flat on the floor. Pound them out a little bit. Relax that stretching that you just did. Give those muscles a break. And then head back to staff. We're going to do a twist here, seated. Nice and tall, getting situated. And then what I want you to do is cross one leg over the other. Right here, just like this, kind of land your foot right around your knee, all right? And then hug that knee with the opposite elbow, and then twist around to the back. Does that make sense? Hopefully, you're not too mangled up. Shoulders relaxed, gazing back over your back shoulder. Don't put too much weight on that back hand. Try to be sitting nice and tall. And then unfold to the front. Stretch that leg back out. Bring the other one across, foot flat on the floor, somewhere near your knee or wherever it seems to fit. Hug it with the opposite arm, and then circle around to the back. Hand flat on the floor, gazing out behind you and breathing. Shoulders relaxed, chest wide open. And back around to the front. Unwrap yourself, and we'll stand up. All right, for standing, let's start with the pyramid pose, if you remember that one. For that, we're going to turn sideways, feet about maybe 3 feet apart, whatever you feel comfortable as. And we're going to angle the hips toward the front leg. Okay, so try to kind of bring that around. Maybe you won't be 100% to the front, but aiming for that. Front foot straight forward, back foot at about 45-degree angle. Okay, so for this, we're going to clasp hands behind our back so we keep our shoulders nice and wide. All right, and we're going to bend just straight to horizontal first, or whatever variation that is for you. So straight down, and then back of your neck nice and long. And just hold that pose, shoulders back and down. And let's come back up. And now clasp your hands the opposite way. We're going to try something different this time, so prepare yourself. We're going to head down in the same way, but then lift your arms out behind you, okay? So let's start with an inhale, chest wide, exhale to horizontal, and then try to let your arms follow on up. See if you can stretch out those shoulders a little bit. And then bring yourself back up. Watch your shoulders as you're doing it. Don't want any discomfort there. Good. All right, we'll do a third pyramid, slightly different way. This time we'll keep our arms front. Okay, so this time let's inhale, arms up. And then exhale, forward. Keep your hips where they are. And come on down wherever you're comfortable with. Your hands can land anywhere. Your torso can land anywhere. But just make sure your head is down and relaxed. Watch your balance. And breathe. And then reach your arms back out to about ear level. And then stretch on back up. And arms to the side and down. And we'll flip over to the other side. So same situation. Front foot is straight ahead. Back foot is at a comfortable angle. Your leg width is whatever's comfortable for you. We're facing forward. Get yourself comfortable and centered in this spot. We'll start just with hands clasped comfortably behind us. Inhale, opening your chest, and exhaling down to horizontal. Lengthen the back of your neck and just look at your foot or whatever happens to be down there. And inhale back up. Clasp your hands the other direction and get ready to lift your arms overhead. Inhale, chest wide. Exhale, down to horizontal again, but bringing your arms around with you. Neck long, relaxed, looking at the floor. Open those shoulders up. Breathe. And come back up. Careful with your shoulders. Third time, arms overhead again. Once again, get yourself prepared. And then inhale, arms up, beside your ears, and then exhale forward. However far you go, however you feel comfortable, and just kind of fold down, relax your head, let it hang. Watch your balance, keep breathing. And then bring your arms back to ear level, stretch them out, up, 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 and come back to center. Take just a moment in mountain pose to rest. Okay, rest is over. Let's try garland pose. If you remember, that's just your basic squat. All right, so feet wherever you feel like you would be comfortable with, and then just kind of keep them there and sink to the floor. Do what you want with your hands and arms. If you feel like you need to hold on to the floor, that's perfectly fine. If you want to do prayer position, if you want to cross your arms, whatever you want to do is perfectly fine. But just breathe in that squat. Feel your muscles working. And come up to standing, no hands if you can. And rest your legs, shake them out. And if you remember right, garland can be on your toes as well, so we'll try it on toes. So maybe your feet are just a little closer together this time. With toes, maybe you want to get yourself to the floor with your hands just to make sure you don't lose your balance. Can be hard to go up on your toes and then down. So you can kind of come down and then switch to your toes. Knees might be a little bit wider this time, but basically this is what we're aiming for. Any variation on this is great. Keep breathing. Be patient. Feel it. And come back to standing. Shake it out. And rest in tree. We are making up for yesterday's easy class. Today is not an easy class. So next up is eagle. We learned this a couple of days ago, if you remember right. We're portraying eagles here. So let me just review, since we've only done it once. We tangle ourselves up like an eagle, basically. So if you remember right, we start arms first, cross left over right, and then twist them around. And then legs, we do the opposite. So if we did arm left over, we do leg right over, okay? And twist it around, okay? So you can do them one at a time. You can do them both at the same time. Make sure that as you're twisting your leg, that your standing knee is a bit bent. And do your best always. We're trying to maintain that tall alignment, that lift up to the sky, okay? So before you balance as usual, maybe find yourself a gazing point on the floor, on the wall, not looking toward a lot of things that are going to fall down, all right? And just find your center, find your calm, and then at your own pace, move into the pose. So, left leg on the floor, left arm over right, twisting, and then right leg over left, twisting. And then be an eagle. If you fall out, just calm yourself and try it again. And when you're ready to unfold, take it slowly, watch your shoulders, watch your balance, and come right back out. Shake it out, and we'll do it the opposite way. So this time you're going to ground your right leg with a little bit of a bend, right arm over left, circled, palms together. Get yourself situated to lift your left leg and bring it on around. Keep breathing. And unfold whenever you're ready. And back to mountain. Shake it out. All right, let's take to the floor. Prone, belly down. Do a little bit of back stretching. So we'll start with the Sphinx pose. If you remember what that is, we're looking like sphinxes. Eagles and then sphinxes next. So for Sphinx, you have elbows under shoulders, palms down, hands forward. Legs are about hip distance apart or closer as you feel, whatever's comfortable back there. Bottoms of your feet are up, and you're there. Just lift in this pose. Chest wide open, neck is long. You're gazing out, not up this time, but straight forward. Picture the Sphinx. And keep breathing. Shoulders relaxed. Still like a sphinx. And let yourself back to the floor. Relax for just a second. And we'll repeat that. Elbows under shoulders, hands facing forward, palms down, and sort of lift and open your chest into the Sphinx pose. And then push back into child pose. Knees a little bit apart or wherever you're comfortable, and fold down into it. Feel that release on your back from where you were stretching it. Should feel good. And then back up to prone, and we'll do locust, if you remember locust. So for this one, arms down at your sides, palms up. And we're going to get ourselves ready, and then we're going to lift everything we can off the floor, okay? So get yourself in position. Palms are up and bottoms of your feet are up. Shoulders are down and relaxed. And whenever you're ready, just inhale everything off the floor. Hold it, breathing, and exhale back down. And we'll try that one more time. Ready? Inhale up. Keep breathing. And exhale back down. And fold yourself back into child pose. Arms down at your sides this time. Head to the side or forehead to the floor, whatever you prefer. And this time just really sink into it. Start to feel resting. And let's take that rest over onto the other side, and we'll move into Shavasana for the end of class. So, take your head down to the mat, neck nice and long. Pull your shoulders down toward your feet. Small of your back press into the floor, and then straighten your legs. Release your back, reach your fingertips down towards your feet, and then let your arms just fall to the floor. Make any adjustments you need to make till you feel just very balanced in your body, very aligned, no one arm reaching further than the other. Everything feels right where it should be. Heels of your feet where they should be. Close your eyes and begin to let the floor take over for you. That was a challenging yoga session you just finished, and you have earned your rest. So just breathe deeply. Just enjoy this moment of rest. Let your head sink into the floor. Feel your brain completely empty. Let your shoulders, your back sink into the floor. Arms, hands, notice where every place makes contact and just let it sink down. Sink your hips into the floor, your legs, your feet. With every breath, with every exhale, just feel yourself sinking further into the floor. Now, as you're lying here, picture a giant but very benevolent person coming over with a broom and just able to sweep right through your skin, right through your body, and just sweep out everything inside your body. Sweep your brain just so it's empty. Sweep back and forth through your shoulders, just emptying out everything. Sweeping through your chest. Sweeping everything out, all the tension out through your fingertips. First one arm, and then the other arm. Sweeping everything, sweeping all the tension out through your torso, through your hips. And then sweeping everything out of your legs, one leg at a time. Sweeping all that tension out through your feet, just straight down your legs and through your feet. First one and then the other. So your body is just completely empty of tension. Completely empty of everything. Just relaxing, just sinking. And just lie there and just feel that feeling. Takes no energy, just completely relaxed. And when you're ready, begin to wake yourself up Turn your head a little to one side and then the other, arms up and down, feet up flat on the floor. And when you're ready, roll up to your side, roll over to your side, come up to a sitting position. Feel yourself energized and relaxed both from that yoga session. Feel yourself ready to face whatever comes next. Thank you for being with us.